What if everything you've ever wanted is already waiting for you, but your mind just hasn't caught up yet? Think about that for a second. How many times have you dreamed of something bigger, more success, more peace, more purpose, and still found yourself stuck in the same place? You try harder, you work longer, you push more, but nothing seems to change. Why? Why do some people seem to attract success so effortlessly, while others feel like they're drowning in effort without any results? Here's the truth most people never hear. Success doesn't respond to struggle. It responds to belief. It responds to energy. It responds to the silent language your thoughts speak every single day. You've been told to chase success, to run after it like it's something far away. But what if that's been the trap all along? What if success isn't something you chase, but something you attract? That's where your power lies. Not in the noise outside, not in the chaos of the world, but inside your mind, inside your emotional energy. Because every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you carry is either pulling your dreams closer or pushing them further away. This isn't some fantasy. This is psychology, real science. Your brain is wired to filter reality through what it expects. If you believe you're not enough, your mind will prove it to you again and again. If you believe life is hard, you'll only notice the struggle. But if you believe you're meant for more, your brain starts finding the way. It starts noticing the right people, the right ideas, the right chances. That's not coincidence, that's alignment. You are not powerless. You've just been trained to think small, to doubt your own light, to believe that hard work is the only path while ignoring the power of aligned thought and belief. But deep inside you, there's a whisper, a quiet voice that says you were born for something greater. You feel it when the world goes quiet. You feel it when you look at the stars. You feel it in the ache of wanting more. That's your real self calling you back. So stay with this message. Watch this until the end, not for me, but for you. Because something inside you is ready to wake up. Something inside you is tired of settling. You deserve to know the truth about how powerful your mind is. You deserve to understand why your energy shapes your outcomes. You deserve the tools that will help you unlock the success you've been craving. And if you stay with this until the end, you won't just be motivated, you'll be transformed. Not just inspired for a few minutes, but changed at your core. Because this isn't just a video, this is a turning point. A moment where everything can shift. If you let it, the law of attraction isn't a myth. It's not luck, it's not a wish. It's a decision. And it starts with you, right here, right now. Are you ready to meet the version of yourself who stops chasing and starts attracting? Let's begin. You've been told your whole life that success comes from grinding, from hustling, from pushing until you can't push anymore. And yet look around. Millions of people are working themselves into exhaustion, waking up early, sleeping late, burning themselves out, and still they're stuck. Still they're waiting. Still they're wondering why life hasn't changed. If hard work alone created success, the world would be full of millionaires. But it's not, because effort without alignment is just motion without meaning. Here's where the truth becomes uncomfortable. Most people are operating from a place of fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing time. Fear of being left behind. And when fear drives your energy, it sends a message to the universe, to your subconscious, to everything around you. I don't have it. I'm not there. I'm not worthy yet. And so what happens? You keep living that same story over and over again. But your mind is more powerful than you think. It's not just a storage space for memories. It's a magnet, a signal tower. It broadcasts your dominant thoughts and emotions like a frequency. And everything in your life is tuning into that signal. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're always attracting every second, every day. You're either attracting fear or faith, doubt or confidence, scarcity or abundance. And the results you get, they don't lie. They're just mirrors reflecting what you've been silently believing. And this isn't some fantasy theory. This is how your brain works. It filters your world through something called the reticular activating system. If your beliefs say, life is hard, then your mind will filter out ease and show you struggle. If your beliefs say, I never win, your mind will skip over opportunities that could have changed your life. But the moment you shift that internal script, even slightly, your reality starts shifting with it. The door was always there, you just never saw it before. That's why two people can walk into the same room, see the same world, and come out with totally different results. One sees possibility, the other sees nothing but blocks. The difference isn't the room, it's the lens they're looking through. If your energy is filled with frustration, anxiety, jealousy, or doubt, those emotions become a signal of resistance. And resistance repels success. Not because you don't want it, but because you're not aligned with it. You can't want success while believing you're not good enough for it. You can't attract wealth while constantly fearing lack. You can't call in love while expecting to be abandoned. This is where true transformation begins. It's not in how hard you work, it's in how deeply you align. Your outer life is always following your inner world. Every goal you chase, every dream you hold, It's not out there waiting for you to find it. It's trying to find you. But it needs a clear signal. It needs you to become the version of yourself who already owns it, speaks like it, walks like it, believes like it. That's when things start to shift. The mind is not a machine, it's a creator. And when you start feeding it with belief, direction, and emotional clarity, you stop chasing success. You begin to attract it like a magnet, not through force, but through flow, not through desperation, but through certainty. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. That one sentence holds more power than most people realize. You can make vision boards. You can write goals in your notebook 1,000 times. But if your core beliefs are still wrapped in doubt, fear, or scarcity, then the energy you're sending out is not one of attraction. It's one of resistance. The law of attraction isn't about wishful thinking. It's not about sitting in silence hoping life will change. It's about becoming the kind of person who already lives in the mindset of success. Because energy doesn't lie. You can't fake frequency. Your thoughts are powerful, yes, but your emotions are even more magnetic. They create a signal. And that signal either aligns you with the life you want or pushes it further away. Human psychology proves this every day. The mind doesn't follow what you say. It follows what you feel. That's why people can repeat affirmations for months and still feel stuck. If you say, I am successful, but feel unworthy, your brain follows the emotion, not the words. And so nothing changes. You stay locked in the same cycle, wondering why nothing ever sticks. But when belief and feeling meet, everything begins to move. The brain responds to what it recognizes as truth, and truth to the mind is whatever has been repeated with emotion. That's how habits are formed. That's how identities are shaped. And that's how you start aligning with the version of you that attracts success instead of chasing it. This is where most people get it wrong. They try to change their life without changing their identity. They chase new outcomes with old beliefs, and it never works. Because you can't build a new reality with the blueprint of self-doubt. You have to rewire the way you see yourself. You have to stop asking for permission and start claiming your worth. Not with arrogance, but with clarity, with calm certainty. Because the law of attraction listens most closely to the energy you carry when no one's watching. There's a reason you can sometimes feel when someone is thinking about you. Or when you just know something is about to happen, and it does. That's not luck. That's your energy reading a signal before it appears in physical form. That's how attraction works. Everything begins in the unseen. First in your thoughts, then in your feelings, then in your behaviors, and finally in your reality. The key is to understand that life isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. You're not just an observer. You are a creator. Every single day, your thoughts are sending out messages. And the universe, the subconscious, the energy around you, it listens. Not to your hopes, but to your frequency. Not to your dreams, but to your patterns. That's why real change never starts with action. It starts with awareness. You have to become conscious of what you're thinking when no one's around. What story are you repeating to yourself? What version of you are you practicing every day? Because that's what the law of attraction responds to. Not effort, not noise, but alignment. And when you shift your energy, your world follows. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what you've failed at. If you can change the way you think and feel, you can change the direction of your entire life. Because success isn't chasing anyone. It's responding to the people who already believe it belongs to them. The change you're looking for isn't out there. It's inside. It's not about doing more. It's about becoming more. And that starts with shifting your inner world, thought by thought, belief by belief. Because if you don't believe you're worthy of success, no amount of action will bring it to you. You'll always find a way to sabotage it, to push it away, to doubt it. That's how powerful your internal programming is. But the mind can be reprogrammed. It can be trained to believe something new. It starts with what you feed it every single day. Words are powerful. Repetition is powerful. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, your brain believes you a little more. But every time you replace that thought with, I attract success effortlessly, you plant a new seed, one that rewires the way you see yourself, one that begins to reshape your energy. Visualization isn't just a trick. It's a tool. Olympic athletes use it. CEOs use it. People who live at the highest levels use it. Because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you visualize success with emotion, your brain starts building new pathways. It starts expecting that outcome. And when your mind expects it, your actions, your posture, your tone, they all shift to match. That's alignment. That's attraction. And then there's gratitude, one of the most underrated forces in the world. Gratitude changes your emotional state immediately. When you focus on what you already have, you feel abundant. And when you feel abundant, you attract more. But when you focus on what's missing, you feel lack. And that energy repels what you want, even if you're working hard for it. Gratitude isn't just spiritual. It's strategic. It trains your mind to recognize the good, to expect more of it, and to live in a state of already having, not desperately needing. But But even deeper than affirmations and visualization is the story you keep telling yourself. That inner narrative, the quiet voice when you wake up, the words you use when you fail. That story becomes your identity. And identity always wins. If you see yourself as a struggler, you will struggle. If you see yourself as someone who barely gets by, you will barely get by. But if you start telling yourself a different story, one of strength, of alignment, of clarity, your brain listens. And it adjusts, slowly at first, then rapidly. This is where psychology meets power. You're not just changing thoughts. You're changing the emotions attached to those thoughts. You're healing the root, not just trimming the leaves. You're letting go of guilt, shame, self-doubt, those silent blocks that keep success out of reach. You're replacing them with belief, worthiness, and the calm confidence that says, I don't need to chase, I attract. It's a quiet shift, but it changes everything. You stop comparing yourself. You stop begging life for scraps. You stop settling. You start aligning. You start creating. You start showing up as the version of you who already has what you used to only dream about. And that energy, that frequency, pulls success to you like a magnet. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You just have to be yourself, the self that already knows how powerful you truly are. The moment you begin shifting your inner world, something incredible happens. Your outer world starts to respond. But here's where most people lose their power. They expect immediate results. They want proof before they believe. They demand signs before they trust. And when nothing happens overnight, they quit. They doubt the process. They fall back into the old story. But attraction doesn't work on demand. It works on alignment and patience. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it. You protect it. You trust it's growing even when you see nothing. That's exactly how the law of attraction works. You're planting new thoughts, new beliefs, new emotions, and those roots take time to form. Success is not hiding from you. It's aligning with your energy. And if you stay consistent, it will show up. But only if you trust the timing. Most people send mixed signals. One day they believe, the next day they doubt. One moment they speak with confidence. The next moment they spiral in fear. And that confusion in energy, it creates static. It blocks clarity. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to certainty, calm, conviction. That quiet knowing deep inside that says, I don't need to chase. I know it's coming. I know I'm ready. That's the energy that attracts, not begging, not hoping, but choosing. Deciding, walking through your life like success is already on the way. Because it is. When your inner world aligns, your outer world starts catching up. And just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not happening. Some of your biggest breakthroughs are happening in silence. The people, the opportunities, the right moments, they're being lined up behind the scenes. All you need to do is stay in alignment. That means showing up with the same energy every day. Speaking the truth of your new identity, carrying the emotions of someone who already has what they want. And not just for a few minutes, but as a lifestyle, as a way of thinking. As your new default, you're not pretending, you're becoming. And the universe rewards that energy every single time. This is the test. Can you trust without evidence? Can you believe even when nothing is changing yet? Can you hold your vision when the world is quiet? That's where most people break. But that's also where power is born. Because when you trust, you stop forcing. You stop doubting, you stop sending the wrong signal, and your energy becomes clean, clear, magnetic. That's when results show up in ways you never expected. The right people call, the right opportunity appears, the door opens, and you'll know it wasn't luck, it was alignment. The world didn't suddenly change, you did, and everything else followed. So stop measuring your progress by what you can see. Start measuring it by how you feel. Are you lighter, calmer, more certain? That's the sign, that's the proof, that's the real shift. You're becoming the version of you that success can't ignore. Stay grounded, stay aligned, and keep trusting the process. You were never meant to live a life of chasing. You were meant to live a life of alignment. A life where your energy speaks louder than your words. A life where your beliefs shape your reality. And now you know the truth. Success doesn't arrive when you're perfect. It arrives when you're aligned. It responds when you stop begging and start believing. When you stop forcing and start feeling. Because the most powerful energy in the world is not noise, it's stillness. A deep, calm knowing that says, I am already enough. The law of attraction is always working, always. It's not something you turn on with a few affirmations or a quick meditation. It's running in the background every second. It's responding to your dominant thoughts, your repeated beliefs, your emotional tone. Whether you realize it or not, you're always attracting something. The question is, what are you attracting right now? You are not broken. You're not unlucky. You're not too late. You are powerful beyond what you've been taught. You've simply been living out old programs, old patterns, old stories. But none of that defines your future. The moment you decide to shift your energy, everything begins to move. You don't have to see the full path. You just need to walk in the direction of your new belief. This is your turning point. Not because you watched a video, but because something inside you is waking up. The part of you that's tired of waiting, tired of doubting, tired of surviving, that part of you that wants to live fully, boldly, freely. That voice that says, I am ready, ready to speak differently, think differently, feel differently, because that's what changes everything. Not the outside world, but the version of you who meets it. So step into it. Start today. Start now. Not by changing your entire life overnight, but by changing the way you show up to it, with more awareness, with more belief, with more intention. Carry yourself like the person you're becoming. Think like them, walk like them, speak like them, not to fake it, but to embody it, to claim it, to let the universe know you're done waiting, you're already living it. You don't have to scream to attract what's yours. You just have to feel it deeply, quietly, steadily. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become your new normal. Because the world doesn't reward force, it rewards alignment. You don't chase what belongs to you, you allow it in. You match its frequency, and suddenly it finds you. So take a breath. Let go of the doubt, let go of the fear. Let go of the old version of you that didn't know any better. And now choose. Choose to believe. Choose to align. Choose to attract the success that has always been yours. Because it's not far away. It's already on its way. And now,